This is the exact hiring process that I've used to hire our sales team that will close at over 50% closing ratios, hire a content marketing team that consistently gets us hundreds of thousands of views per month, and how we've built our almost multi seven figure business. And I hope this process can help you grow your business as well. And I'll just be straight with you. We've got a lot of really amazing people from this process. Now, before we jump in and go into this ultimate hiring guide for startups, please subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference in helping me reach entrepreneurs just like you who want to not only grow their businesses, but also invest the profits. Hiring is a very daunting task. A lot of people get overly concerned and overcomplicate the entire process. Now, the number one thing that you need to do when you're hiring, and we're going to go through this step by step, but you need to actually outline what role you're hiring for. Sometimes, and I had a conversation with a client just this weekend that they were letting go of someone and they thought they needed to hire a new person to do that exact role. And advised them prior that they actually didn't need that person and that person wasn't doing the task that they needed to be done. Now, what the actual role that they needed was a bit different, but you have to identify, do you actually need someone to fill that role in your company? Once you do that, you need to outline what role are you actually hiring for? What is their job description? What tasks will they be in charge of? What's their KPI? And most importantly, what will be their compensation structure and how will that affect the business? If you are a startup that raised money, how will that affect your burn rate? If you're a bootstrap startup, can you afford to hire the quality of person you want to? And if you can't, is there any way you can work around that to get the type of individual that you want? Once you've done that, the second step is relatively easy and straightforward, but list the job opening. Let your friends and family know, make the post on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed, wherever it is. Sometimes there are specific forms. For example, when I'm hiring YouTube professionals, I really like the site YT Jobs or YouTube Jobs because they have specialized contractors and individuals that are looking for jobs in the YouTube space that usually have experience working for other channels. But that's like if I'm looking for a video editor or a thumbnail designer, for example. There's other sites that are really good for hiring salespeople, so on and so forth. But also making sure you just have them listed on the normal job sites is a great place to start as well. Make sure everyone you know knows about it. If you have a social media following, you can list those job openings there. However, I found you often get more fan applicants than you actually get qualified applicants when you do post on social media. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get someone who's really amazing though. Once you've done that, you're going to wait until you have enough applicants. Now, usually you need about 10x of the applications. So if you're hiring for one role, you're usually going to want to do 2 group calls, and you're going to want to have about 20 people show up to those calls. So on average, or not 20, but 10 each, 20 total. So you'll want about 200-ish total applications to choose from to pick the top 10% to invite to the calls. And you want to invite 20 people-ish to each call in order for 10 people to show up to each individual call. I recommend doing 2 calls so you have optionality on when people can attend the call. And you are going to do a group interview. And what this looks like is interviewing for the role based off of general practices and if they would be a good fit for the team. Because you just want to really filter through the applicants and see who can communicate clearly, who has good work experience, who can answer the questions while tying in their work experience, and who will be a good cultural fit to your company. Now, you don't need to ask super in-depth or technical questions usually on these calls. You just want to get a good feel that they are a competent employee or contractor and that they will be able to work well with your team. Once you go through, there's always going to be 1 or 2 people that stand out as leaders on each of these calls. And once you identify those, you want to invite those people and whoever else that you liked or thought could be a really good fit for the role. You will want to invite those people to one-on-one interviews. And once you do that, you can ask them more technical questions. You can ask them to do technical tests. There's a lot of different things that you can do in the technical interview or more technical side of the one-on-one interview, where you can ask them to actually demonstrate their skills and ask them for more technical answers. Just generally speaking, if you do a 1 hour long one-on-one interview, you can go a lot more in depth versus a one-on-one group interview where each person gets to speak usually for roughly 5 to 10 minutes during that interview process. The whole goal here again is to identify any red flags. You're looking for more red flags than you are green flags, because again, you can have less green flags, but if you have no red flags, you're good for a company. And you could also have a lot of green flags, but if you have a red flag, it could be detrimental to hiring them in your company. So you just want to make sure that they're overall a good fit, that they're going to bring value to the team that they are on. And that is going to be a good investment for you, because the worst thing you can do is hire an employee that is going to prevent you from growing your business. Now, once you've done that, is you're going to send out offers. Now, typically you'll want to get down to 2 to 3 candidates that you're going to send offers out to, and you send offers out one at a time and wait for an acceptance or rejectment from the candidate. Once you've done this, you can begin the onboarding process. I will make another video on that eventually on how to onboard employees, but this is like the general process of how to actually take someone or take, a need in your business from a role that you need to fill and actually get that role filled with a top tier individual. At the end of the day, group interviews will save you tons of time from having to do, 20 to 40 one-on-one calls. It sets the precedence of if they show up to the call, they're taking the job seriously, and how they interview and answer the questions as well. Again, this is how we've hired everyone for the last 2 years on our team. Every single person that we have hired using this method has just been an all-out rock star for the company. If you got any value from this video, go ahead, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I come out with content like this all the time to help you grow your business and invest the profits, and I hope you have a great day.